Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
All right, so your season this year. Every year I cover this preseason. Every single year we go through this, and I'm like, how you doing? How's the team? It's like this year, I think we're probably and people don't know this. This is where obviously I get my information and where I either rank or don't rank Auburn preseason. Bruce this year, he's like, I think we're probably like 6th in the SEC, somewhere like that. So I don't rank them. Then your friggin' fans, the wrath of your fan base comes after me, you idiot. All year I heard it from them because I didn't rank them. Can you at least lie to me and say you're good next year?
No, I'm always going to be 100 with you. Yeah. And look, you do that for the Twitter mob, and you do that for hits. You poke at them a little bit. I thought we were going to be a good team with a chance to be a very good team. Instead, we were a very good team with a chance to be a great team. Now, Jeff, you came out and saw us against Kentucky, where Kentucky manhandled us, which then made a statement that, look, it's not that Kentucky doesn't defend. When they want to defend, they can defend because we couldn't do anything offensively. And I thought that could have been a sort of a kickstart for them. But you walked away and you weren't that impressed. You said, no,
I didn't feel like your guards. I felt like your guards were good, not great.
Guess what? And you know what? At the end of the day, you wound up kind of getting proven right at the end. Because once we lost Chad Baker to an F2, which was questionable.
I want to ask you about that, but go ahead.
But I'll get this in. Then it was Denver Jones really stepped up, and he's going to be a hell of a for us next year. But the rest of the guys didn't exactly step into the moment once we lost Chad. And then all of a sudden, look, Yale's guards, they did. They outplayed us.
I thought that was a horrific call, to say the least. Yeah. If you wanted to say a technical, I'm okay with it. I just thought that was a really, really –
RC, as a player, explain why you thought that was such a bad – as a player, given going into that game, what's at stake as a player?
If I do this and I hit John in his face or do something, I understand it.
Yeah.
Considering what was at stake, where we were at that moment, I would expect they had made the call. I thought they were going to make a call, say it's a flagrant 2. But when they went to the monitor, I expect them just to say, all right, this game is getting physical. Maybe I want to tone it down. We're going to give them a flagrant 1. Technical warning, and then the game goes on. When I saw it was a flagrant 2 and it stayed, I thought it was one of probably, if not the worst call of the tournament. And I thought, obviously, people want to say because it's the 13th seed and great job, Coach Jones and his team and everything else. We're not taking credit away from them.
Absolutely.
But I thought your team lost a lot.
That was the key right there. That was the key.
They wore it coming out of that moment. And they were like, we lost our guy.
But it wasn't egregious, though.
No.
I'm young.
It was like they did it for the intention.
I'm young, but I still played in 10, 12, and it was just a pop, get back, watch out.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
And we played at a time when it physically.
Yeah, watch out.
That
That's it. He wasn't trying to clear him and knock his head off. Watch out. Hey, look. And so I hated that for him, man. I did.
But you're right. To comment too much about it takes away from what Yale did.
Yeah.
And they did a great job. And that's what one shining moment's all about. That's what March Madness is all about. And to give the officials, take them off the hook by rule or by definition because it was an intentional play. It could have been, and it certainly was. They called it an F2. But it was a retaliatory situation, and because he got hit 5 seconds earlier right across the chops, across the throat, and he did retaliate. And the thing I said to the official at the time was, I said, you have now put yourself in position where this ruling is impacting the outcome of this game. With 37 minutes left to go in the game, I'm saying, by doing this, I said, do you have any idea what we had to do to get here?
And you took a lot of it away.
To be a 4 seed. Do you know what we all went through? And now, because of this ruling, this young man is now not going to be able to play. And let me tell you something. Even from a psychological standpoint, he's going to have to own this for a long time. And he's been, and all that stuff goes. Manage the game. Man is the game. With 3 minutes into the game, let's move on. Let's get the F1.
Yes.
And send notice. We're not going to have it.
Because you talk about intention, we can also say I've seen teams get, when you're pressuring in that crowd, I've seen people sweep the clear. My intention is to get you off me.
Right.
So if we're going to use that rule for that extent, I've seen people clean and swipe through to say
in this tournament.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on from this call. We've spent a lot of time. We're going to move on from Yale. We're going to move on forward.
Move on.
We'll move on to the portal. Because, again, the portal, I'm surprised you're here right now. I'm surprised you're not in the phone.
No. I've been on the phone since the season's been over.
Yep.
It starts with kind of keeping your team and keeping those guys together. The NCAA, was not able to foresee that the way we were handling the student athletes and compensating student athletes wasn't keeping pace with how everybody else was being compensated. They fell behind, and then it became sort of we're catching up right now. I love the fact that kids are getting able to get compensated with their name and image. Like, I don't want them to work at Subway. I want them to own 5 of them. And I think they should be able to do that while they're in college because they're worth it. And it's the American way, so on and so forth. Right now, there's just not a lot of order to it, so we need to find a way to get a little bit more order to it. The combination of the transfer portal being open, transfer anytime, any way, and the NIL, what you now have is you've got NIL agents that are out there calling every one of my players and going, if you put your name in the portal, you can get more than you would get at Auburn. And then they would say to me, well, I'm just giving them fair market value, coach. You're not paying them fair market value. And I don't think that's the way to do it. In other words, for example, if I did not have a buyout, and if I was on the market to be able to coach anywhere in the country without a buyout right now and not under contract at Auburn, and there were 3 or 4 jobs that were open and they were all interested in me, like they're interested in a player, they're going to wind up paying me way more than market value. They're going to pay me more because we're all competing for me. So it's not about market value. It's about, okay, I'm going to get the most I can because we're going to make these schools bid for you, and I don't think that's market
well, you don't
value.
even think it's real. But a lot of it is, let's face it, a lot of
not
these
real
kids
anyway.
Are getting put out there by multiple agents.
Right.
They don't all have one agent. These agents are calling.
They're using it as a recruiting tool to get them, saying,
Correct.
I can get you this
I got
if you come with me.
$500,000 from Auburn.
If you come with me.
Correct. If
Yes.
you come with me.
Yes.
Right?
No question.
And that's part of the problem. You don't know what's real and what's not anymore.
Yep. Here's what I'm saying. If you can get that for him, sir, then have him transfer there.
Right.
And I don't want to take money out of his pocket.
What's the
from
biggest
his family.
number you've heard so far, Bruce? What is the biggest number?
Well, what do you think it was last year, Jim? What was the highest paid guy last year? Was it $1 million?
I think overall it was more than $1 million. I think Zach Edey made more than $1 million overall, but he went out and got a lot of that on his own.
Sure.
Now I think what the collectives and what the schools probably promise, probably like $750.
Yeah.
I think now I'm hearing the numbers that the kids are asking for is in excess of $1 million.
Yeah. Well, what I would say is the 750 figure was the high end of what I had heard out there from the Hunter Dickinsons or things where you set the bar. The kid from Creighton or some. Okay, what I don't know, but that's what I had heard, and so therefore I would say it's that or potentially slightly north, and we're going to set the bar whatever it is, and then the bottom line is the kid's got to make the decision in the sense that there is some value in being in the right place at the right time in the right culture.
Sure.
And I tell all my guys, look, if you go in the portal, you probably could get a little more.
Well, I think John and I got a COVID year. I think we got a COVID year. I don't know about that.
You fell getting into the shower.
I got some jumpers, man.
I love the NIL, but I think Coach brought up a good point. Getting $700K, $800K for whatever, and maybe altering your pro prospects or your future, or even being in the right program, the right coach, building the right habits, I think that could be detrimental.
Can I give you an example?
I don't think most of those kids are pro prospects anyway.
The best month of the year is here, which is why you need to know that we are partnered with BetMGM. We'll be using BetMGM lines for making all of our picks and predictions, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, you can use bonus code FIELD, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's the best part. All you need to do is deposit and bet $10 of your hard-earned money to get it. This is what you have to do to make it work. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using that bonus code FIELD. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You'll get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Most importantly, we have some fun stuff coming up for the rest of the NCAA tournament. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boost, and the thing that I love the most, a nice little parlay boost, as well as a ridiculous array of prop bets for anything that you could possibly imagine betting on. From odds on getting to the Final Four to national championship futures, I'm calling it right now. BetMGM is the king of the prop bet. So go download the BetMGM app. Use that code FIELD and sign up today. And while I've got you, a quick request. The best way to support the Field of 68 content you get for free is to engage with us. Rate and review the pod in any podcast app. Like and share the YouTube videos that you enjoy. Tell your friends about us. It all helps in a world where the algorithm is king. And now, back to the show.